Shoprite is the largest retailer in sub-Saharan Africa that's by sales and focused on discount sales of everyday items.
So obviously it's a grocery store, but it has got lots of household goods in there in the form of, the stuff that you use in the home, detergents, cleaning agents,
Handy Andy, Sunlight
mops,
dishwasher,
brushes, plasticware, etc., etc. In addition to that,
including the consumables, or are you only staying
no,
to
I'm
the
saying
mops
it's the whole
and the
group
brushes?
really, and I'm implying obviously in addition to that there's the house and home. So if you go to the Checkers, then you find at the back end of the hypermarket there's all those places where they sell furniture.
Market cap 114.3 billion rand, PE of 21.1, dividend yield of 2.4%. Whitey Basson yesterday telling the market that he is retiring, and there are a number of journalists out there who have spoken to him, interviewed him over the last year, and certainly had no sense that he was going to step down.
Interesting, because my sense was that he was reaching the end of his tenure, so I wasn't surprised by the news at all.
Were you surprised by the news?
No, I mean, she was the longest serving CEO in South Africa, was it? The time was going to happen, and yeah, there's a few things in the background. I think, just listening to his commentary yesterday, I think he was hurtful. I think he just said, had enough, and I think a lot of it came out of, the 100 million rand number that kept him being touted around. I think he took a lot of heat for his salary package as a result of that, and I think he just kind of weighed up the odds, is it worth
But now we've got an
sticking
interesting
around?
phenomenon happening in South African corporate. You're seeing the top dogs, so to speak, stepping down, retiring, and then remaining on as a strategic advisor to the company, i.e. Kevin Hedderwick, Famous Brands. It looks as though Whitey Basson is going to follow a similar strategy.
Deputy vice chairman or wherever they put him. I love the strategy. I mean, he is in his 70s, so why not pass it to someone with new energy and ideas and that, and it is a company guy that's taking over, but still to retain that institutional knowledge of when they were 8 stores all the way to 2,000 plus stores at the moment. I think it's important.
I'm not so sure I like the idea. I think it's actually better if the old elephant disappears into the background. Because remember, there's a new person now, Mr. Engelbrecht, I can't remember what his first name is, who now wants to put his own stamp on the thing.
Peter Engelbrecht.
Because I don't think running businesses like this is all that complicated. I just think these guys are very good at it. So they sweat the detail. They make sure the distribution centers are good. They make sure that the stock that you've got is actually selling and trading.
And to add to your point, Peter Engelbrecht is an insider. It's not as though he is new to the Shoprite strategy.
So I think it might also be, because my default case here is, I think because of the common shareholdership of Christo Wiese in Steinhoff and in Shoprite, I think the logical thing to do is to put these two businesses together, and it's a matter of waiting to see what kind of swap ratios they're going to come up with. In the meantime, Shoprite, of course, is running very well. Its trading update was good.
Share
and its
price,
African
look at the share price right
sales
now.
generally have been very strong. That's a nice recovery there. It's all the way from 130 right up to almost 200 rands a share. Very nice
A
move.
good time to exit.
Yeah, look, if you look at it from that perspective, why not? I mean, when your multiple's 21, 22, that's probably what shareholders would be looking for if there is going to be this buy by Steinhoff. I don't think they would accept much less than that. And there's growth here, right? I mean, as Paul was saying, Africa growth is 30, 40%, profitability is through the roof. And if we do get a turnaround in the commodity cycle, that benefits the markets that Shoprite operates in. More affluent middle class and more profitability.
They do, and let's just pause on the Africa strategy for a while. They definitely have first mover advantage in that space. They've conquered territories that other retailers in the same space have really battled
And
to
clearly,
find
countries
traction
like Angola and Nigeria are not doing well currently, but Shoprite seem to be the leading retailers in that space and growing market share and demonstrating strong sales, notwithstanding
And if you're in this space, you've got to go where the consumers are. 165 million plus in Nigeria.
The only question is if they were to combine, would it not create a group that has got too much emerging market focus for the German consumer investor that wants to or is thinking of owning Steinhoff, or is that an attraction?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, at the moment, I think it's around 75% of revenues come out of Europe from Steinhoff. So, by taking on a company of this size, that'll probably take it down to around 50.
And of course, it's counterbalanced by the North American acquisition.
Correct.
So it actually will have very well positioned geographic diversity.
Look, I don't see, if we're talking about this potential merger, I don't see as much benefit for Shoprite as I do for Steinhoff. I think Shoprite needs very little. They are retailers through and through. They understand their business. They understand their supply chain, distribution, logistics. So they've got it all. So, you know, what do they need in terms of a big brother shareholder? I can understand Christo Wiese wanting to consolidate all his holdings into one group.
I'm assuming that it's not a cash transaction, because clearly you don't want to get bought out for cash, but what you would want is some kind of combination of shares, in which case then both shareholders have the opportunity to participate in the forward growth thereafter. And then it comes down to the swap ratios.
It is looking a little bit richer. I think at this stage, you know, trading near all-time highs above 200.
What do you do with this now, hot or not?
Look, great company. I mean, if I was putting in new money, I wouldn't be putting it in here. I'm happy to miss on the pop if there is a deal.
You're concerned Shoprite looks quite full relative to its recent price move.
Correct.
If it stays on its own.
Yeah.
So not hot.
Not hot for me.
Paul, hot or not?
No, I like both of them, and I like these kinds of situations where there's something in the air. That's always good. So I'd be hot on this one too.